We're here with the national organizer, Papa
Good
Joe.
afternoon. Niphukile.
Itshamisekile minjhani?
Niphukile.
Hi tshamisekile. Tsakela ku va na n'wina namuntlha. Hi kwala Moses Mabhida kwala Durban. Mo hi hlamusela ku ri hi endla yini kwala hi ta ku endleni yini na va mani, mi rhambe mani, swo tala mi ta hi endla hi
Namuntlha
hlamusela.
siku lerikulu swinene ra mkhonto weSizwe. Hikuva hi tiyimiserile leswi. Hi lungisela siku ra ti-15
Yeah.
ayo December leyi. Ku nga ta va ku ri sonto, hi swona?
Hi swona.
Hewe, ha ku byela hi sonto. Ti ta va ti vuya mpela. Hikuva vanhu va hina hinkwavo la nga ka ti-region ta 11 leti nga laha KZN. Va ta va tete stadium lexi.
Yeah.
Va ta tlangela siku ra ku tswariwa ka hina. Hi tswariwile kambe hey hi te loko hi tswariwa hina hi yima hi milenge mpela hi chusa hinkwavo lava va ri khale va ri koho va ANC ya Ramaphosa va EFF va DA hi va twise ku fehla phela hina se hi siku lero ke timember ta mkhonto weSizwe ti ta va ti tele la ti ta tsaka na hina ku boha nkulungwani ku tsakiwa swinene hikuva leswi hi nga swi endla swikulu swinene ngopfu.
Deve ku kaniwa. So I know maybe miskin me byela ku ri no what was the highlight for you in terms of uMkhonto weSizwe party? What have you achieved thus far that you're so proud of? And most importantly, what do you wish for us in the next coming year? What are our fruitions? What are our ambitions? I yini lexi hi xi lavaka?
Leswi hi nga swi endla what we achieved as a political party within a very short space of time that we have been in existence. We have really shaken the foundations of the political landscape, which was least expected by a lot of people in the country. And you will recall that when we started our campaign after the president made the announcement that he's going to vote for uMkhonto weSizwe, people actually thought that we were living in a dreamland that will never achieve what we have achieved. And I think it is important in terms of what we have to communicate to our people. The resilience of members of uMkhonto weSizwe when we embarked on the campaign to actually participate in the May 2024 elections was actually driven by commitment, by sacrifice, and by the love of the country. And that, to me, is a highlight because it clearly showed that South Africans have now realized that the president who was undermined and being spoken ill of, that he has never achieved anything, and they keep talking about the 9 wasted years. That this is the president who has actually transformed this country economically, socially, politically, and the people believe in him. And that, to me, is important. And the birth of uMkhonto weSizwe is, in actual fact, a signal that the hope that our people have heard in the founder of the party and the visionary of this party is indeed going to be realized.
Okay, I love listening to nawe. Kuna stigma shale shakoro no uMkhonto weSizwe party yamaZulu. Mara mina wena ito kore ayikona yale. I mean, you are the national organizer Tata Joe Ndhlela, Ninkata Kwakamkhabela, the national spokesperson of the Youth League. What is your sentiment surrounding those things and how do you view that?
You know, it is unfortunate in that the apartheid mentality still persists amongst our people. We have not realized that when we begin to talk, and that is why I like the whole issue, or when the president constantly says, when I talk president, I mean Zuma. That's the president. He always it's amazing how we're so captured as human beings or as Africans in general and blacks in general that we tend to stigmatize each other. And the whole apartheid approach to how we actually view each other and the establishment of any structure, that it will be linked to the ethnic group from which you come from. And hence, you tend to find that people say uMkhonto weSizwe, it's a Zulu party. And they say so because of the fact that, let's not be stupid and let's not lose sight of the fact that KZN is a big province and Gauteng is. So we have a majority of people who voted us in this province, and you don't only have exclusively Zulu people living in this province. You have Sothos as well, you have Xhosas as well, who live here. And being a Tsonga-speaking person, or Shangani, as I am, people, when I joined the party in December 2023, they were saying, but this is a Zulu party, why are you joining the Zulu party? What people don't realize that it is not about the ethnic group that you come from. It is about what the party stands for. And that, to me, is the key factor that we need to actually drive amongst our people. We need to change the mindsets of our people. And in fact, the top leadership of uMkhonto weSizwe also. I'm Changan speaking.
Yeah.
So from that perspective, to push the narrative that we are a Zulu party clearly demonstrates the apartheid mentality amongst those who are criticizing us.
Okay, so let's touch base on uMKHONTO, freedom. So for those who might not know, they don't know that you were actually in exile in Mozambique. Could you just give us a glimpse as to what was that for you and what it meant for you in terms of even linking it now with uMKHONTO party, and how do you feel seeing us TS post-apartheid?
Okay. I think it is important to state the following. I never went on to exile. I was involved in underground structures of weSIZWE'S.
So that's another myth.
Yes.
Okay.
It's important to state. I have been an operative who worked in a cell under the guidance of our president, Ndhlela
Right.
for the most of my life. Okay? I'm an operative in intelligence. So if one were to ask, how do I view all these things in terms of where we are and the freedom that we have achieved? It has not been an easy path to where we have been. And what one needs to begin to inculcate in the minds of the people who have never experienced the brutality of the apartheid system is to say that even when we were together, I mean, Tom Moyane is my brother, and the issue would have been that they would create even divisions within the family, that we begin to question each other in terms of our loyalty, whether we're members of weSIZWE'S, African National Congress then, which I don't want to mention, I'm mentioning it now, which is unfortunate, giving them free advert, that they would create tensions within the family. And they would ensure that, because the apartheid system was quite good in terms of building an informal network which is very strong. And that is why they were being able to oppress South Africans for this long period of time. What weSIZWE'S coming into the picture has achieved, I think it is achieving this whole notion of people beginning to realize and accept that they have to believe who they are, and they have to actually stand and firm up when it comes to issues pertaining to whatever they differ with. I think you would have noticed over the past few days, people have been objecting about the statements that Ramaphosa has been making about issues pertaining to giving visas. So people are now beginning to be more aware and conscious. Who is responsible for that? weSIZWE'S.
Okay, so let's come back to this. As we all know, weSIZWE'S party is the vanguard and the spear of the nation. What should we anticipate and expect from weSIZWE'S party in 2025? What's the plan?
weSIZWE'S has come up with what we call a people's mandate. And a people's mandate has got 8 pillars. Of weSIZWE'S addresses all the issues that affect our people. Economy, technology, issues of their own culture, issues pertaining to the laws of this country, which are basically brought from the colonialists, which are Roman Dutch law. Now, weSIZWE'S, and when we actually campaigned for the elections, and we're talking about a 2/3 majority, we're talking about changing the constitution, which basically is creating the continuous oppression of our people. Now, what people need to begin to understand, and that's what I will encourage people to begin to consider, is that when we begin to prepare for the 2026 local government elections, they need to give us the mandate to rule the local municipalities or local councils and also metros. That will actually demonstrate that we are capable of dealing with issues pertaining to bylaws, because at local level it will be bylaws. And that will give us an opportunity to prepare and to solidify and to capacitate our cadres. That when we go to the 2029 elections, in preparations for the national and provincial elections, and we take control of government, we'll be in a position to change the constitution, which is the major obstacle in terms of achieving. Take, for instance, the issue of land. The issue of land, if we as Africans were united and all the political parties that are in parliament were speaking with one voice. And President Zuma spoke about this. And he says that the reason why we are not achieving the objective of taking land over is because Africans, black parties, are basically divided. And they're focusing on their own personal narrow interest instead of looking at it from a broader issue to save our people. So weSIZWE'S is the hope that once we actually take control of power at the National Assembly, we'll be able to change the Constitution. And that will give us the opportunity to address all the 8 pillars of our people's mandate that we have already declared to our people.
Okay. Ay, faleni swingo. Iti 15, uMkhonto weSizwe wakula. But that's not the point. We've achieved so many beautiful things, and we're yet to achieve far more greater things. What is your message to uMkhonto weSizwe for this anniversary? And most importantly, what do you see us? What are we? What is uMkhonto weSizwe Party to the people?
What I wish for our people and what our people need to understand now that we have achieved this great results, especially members of uMkhonto weSizwe, we need to move away from forming parallel structures. We need to move away from disagreeing on issues that do not build who we are. That, to me, is the biggest challenge that we're confronted with. People need to begin to understand that it's not about the position or title that you hold. I mean, I'm a volunteer. I always tell people that I'm a volunteer of uMkhonto weSizwe. What my responsibilities are does not make me far better than the next person.
Yeah.
And what people need to begin to understand in terms of uMkhonto weSizwe and the values that we want to inculcate, as our president has taught us, is for us to serve our people with humility, and with dedication. I need to look at it from a point of view that when I meet any member of uMkhonto weSizwe, regardless of their level, that it is to serve the party and to serve the people of South Africa in general and the people of Africa, the continent in general. And that's what uMkhonto is going to bring into the political landscape of our country.
Okay, final words. Kwamla muyifalela isichangani korno ay hlangane nenkweru la iti 15 ene bebaso samwe.
Hey, my wona kurile kwila. Hile Moses Mabhida. Hesiku rati 15 kana ninkwenu la hitahlangana la hitaba ni bankulunkulu nkulu swinene ichina ku bankulunkulu wasubona leswaku uMkhonto ufikile inkomo nakhe na miramba ipentanani
Ikhensile kanbambo ayihlangana 15 taka December ayigwaze uMkhonto ene